Hey everybody, welcome back to my Baldur's Gate Saga playthrough with SCS, done in a completionist style. And let's keep going. Also, I keep forgetting to level up Nira. So let's just do that right now. She gets one more spell, 4 more hit points. And so, because she has that ring equipped, she actually has 2 more spells that she can use now. I think this is it. This is what I'm going to stick with. I'm not sure if I'm going to rest here or not. Alright, so here's a guy. Lester. Sure is a nice carnival they put on. If only there were more people here to enjoy it. Where is everyone? Down in the mines or dead. A combination of the two more often than not. I'm sorry, you folks are here to enjoy the carnival. Don't let me go telling my depressing tales. The mines interest us more than the carnival, to be honest. We'd like to figure out what's wrong if we can. What's right? That place has been claiming lives hand over fist, but where else can we find work? It's either death by the demons or death by the dinner plate, and us Nashkel folk aren't the type to let our families starve. I'd register with the garrison, but with this bum leg, I ain't no good at fighting. Just pushing the ore barrel, that's all. So yeah, some pretty sad times. This is just going to uncover the mine, right? Yep. Certainly. Anyway, here's a potion vendor with 2 unique potions.
Ah, I know a discerning eye when I see one.
So basically, he wants to, and he's. Oh, let's back up a bit. There are quite a few like merchants in the game that will try to like sell you cursed stuff, offering very low prices. But his goods are actually for real, although they carry a disadvantage, his potions. But he's pretty truthful about them. One gives you exceptional strength, and the other one gives you 25 intelligence. Or exceptional strength. It gives you 25 strength, but they always come at a cost, and they last for 24 hours. Alright, so if it does what you say, I'll gladly take it. Already you must feel stronger just holding it in your hand, because we were talking about the strength potion. Yes, your pack sway lightly upon your shoulders. Will you convince me of your satisfaction by purchasing the red elixir? Yeah, I'll take the second as well. Those are only 50 gold, you can sell them for more, I think. But they're pretty useful, especially the intelligence one, because the intelligence one... Oh, Your eyes grow wide with the light of knowledge. Go forth now, and I will enjoy the satisfaction of future great deeds done with my assistance. Ample compensation for practically giving merchandise away. Alright, so he doesn't have anything else.
Wonders I have seen, but
no refunds. Anyway, we would have to identify these potions, and oh, she actually can do that. So this one gives you 50% resistance to all magical damage, which is not that notable with these disadvantages. It reduces your wisdom to 3 and your strength to 3, but it gives you 25 intelligence, so this is a great potion to do a scribing session with on, you know, a mage that you want to guarantee that your spells are going to be successfully scribed into your spellbook. And this one gives you 25 strength at the cost of 3 dexterity and constitution. It has its uses. The only thing with these potions is that they last for 24 hours, so you have to kind of do some resting to let the effects wear off. And here we're going to use that tactic of running before the guards are summoned, because these two, like, he has some good potions, and I just have to take them, you know. So let's do this. There's 200 gold, potion of fire resistance, invulnerability, invisibility, and a potion of healing. And everyone here is going to take another 230 gold, potion of fire giant strength, I think. Yeah, fire giant, and a potion of heroism. And we're just going to run. I don't enjoy doing things like that because that feels a little cheap, like exploiting game mechanics. But this is something that I just had to. I had to have these potions. You know what? In this tent, we're going to be back in this area later. I'm going to do a couple of things now, and then we're going to come back here at a later point, and then we're going to do this encounter. There's a mage in there. It was pretty ridiculous because I'm not sure if SCS does that or if the original developers did this, but I remember him, and I will remember him for the rest of my life, I think, because one time I got so frustrated about him just having a successful saving throw against any spell I threw at him, and I looked him up in the game files, and it turns out that he has a save versus spell at 3. At 3 in Baldur's Gate 1, so he basically is going to save pretty much against anything you throw at him. So we're going to come back later to just overwhelm him with brute force, because pretty much spells are a no-go when it comes to him. You can use some wands, but we don't even have any effective single target wands at this point, because his save against wands is much worse. But, you know, a saving throw of 3, I'm not sure what does it. You know, if it's in the unmodded game, you know, it doesn't matter, because he doesn't have the pre-buffs, he doesn't have the AI, so he just, like, dies in 2 hits, and then you never really get to experience that kind of saving throw. But, yeah, in this one, in SCS, it actually is nasty. Alright, so this guy is going to keep shouting, so let's talk with Zeke. Come one, come all, take a look at this stone warrior maiden over here. How long has she been trapped in this petrified form? No one knows. Be the first to learn for the mere price of 500 gold. For that small amount of money, I shall give you a magic scroll, and with this scroll you can release the maiden from her stone prison. Think of the gratitude she would feel for her saviors. Perhaps she's a princess from some far-off land, or maybe a powerful sorceress in search of a concubine. You can't afford not to know. Buy the scroll. And now, this thing, you really want to have Jaheira if you have the BG1 NPC Project installed, because this is a really cool opportunity, another cool idea that they've had. So Jaheira says, you mean that you have the scroll with which to release this petrified woman from her stone prison? Why, yes I do, as I said, for mere 500 gold. She, like, whacks him with a club. Ow, you hit me! Glad you noticed. I shall take that scroll, thank you very much. Now get out of here, and quickly, before I have the urge to hit you again. I have little patience for miscreants seeking profit in the misfortune of others. Well, okay, I wanted to see myself if that scroll would work. So yeah, we got a scroll like that for free. Of course, normally, you can get these scrolls in temples. So that's why I also had some potions, some scrolls like that prepared. We bought, I think, some of those for like 130 gold with our discounts, so we can get them much cheaper, of course. And you can pickpocket the scroll off of him, normally. You know what, I am going to do this in a second. I still want to have Imoen open some containers here. There are ones a little bit to the north that have some gold.
This way, good sir. Over here.
Oh, just shut up, dude. Yeah, there's 26, and there's like around 50 or something like this. And this one, yeah, 56. All right. And now what we're going to do, I'm going to do a couple of NPC switches. What we're going to do is we're going to leave Imoen for just a little bit. We're going to temporarily remove her from the party, because I want to do some areas around Nashkel first, and she's close to leveling to level 4, at which point I want to dual class her into a mage. But at the same time, I also want to have access to her thieving skills for the Nashkel mines. So basically my plan is, my route that I should have explained a little bit, I think, before, maybe this is a good time as well. What I'm going to do is a little non-standard, I think. Normally you either go for the mines, or you like clear out all the other areas and then go for the mines. I'm going to do I'm going to clear out a couple of areas, I think, and then come back, do the mines, and then do the rest of them, I think. So we won't need Imoen's thieving skills where we're going very soon. And I don't want her to, you know, get some experience and level up to level 4, because I want to use her skills to disarm some traps in the Nashkel mines. And then we're going to, you know, come back for her and have her forever, pretty much until the end of the playthrough. So let's just pick up some quest items from her, because, well, she could keep those, but I usually like to take off anything that's valuable of characters that I'm not going to be using for now. I don't know, she has some arrows, maybe let's give Kevin some arrows. And of course the scroll case. So let's just have the potions go there. Also, oh yeah, we can just keep Gorion scroll. You can of course sell it or throw it out, but you know, it's Gorion scroll, man. I want to hold on to that. And this book, I should just throw it away. But it's kind of a significant book, and so far our total inventory isn't all that cluttered, so I just keep forgetting. Yeah, we're running low on these throwing knives, man. Yeah, anyway, I think we're ready to get rid of Imoen temporarily.
Yes, it is done.
I care not.
This way, good sir. Over here.
Just like that? But we're friends and everything. Been friends for years. I guess I'll just wait till you need me again, because you will. Just wait and see. So, you know, thankfully the NPC project actually has, you know, the different options, and I'm just going to have her stay here. And she's like, of course, Senashira, you bet I'll wait for you. Just don't take too long, pretty please. She's such an adorable character. So, yeah, we are going to come back for Imoen. And then we're going to have her forever. It's kind of unusual that I would get rid of Imoen. I pretty much always have her, but let's use that unpetrifying scroll, the stone to flesh scroll, on this lady. And let's talk to her.
By the ice breath of Oral, 'tis good to see new faces and taste freedom again.
'Tis good. What accent is that? She sounds sometimes with her voice lines as if she can't really decide on an accent. 'Tis good. So she says, I am Branwen, a war priest from the northern Norheim Isles. I have been trapped in stone for what seems like an eternity. You have saved me, and for that I owe you my life. I am indebted to you, and by Tempus I leave no debt unpaid. Let me join whichever cause you are fighting for. I should make a valuable ally and bring the favor of the Lord of Battles upon us. Yeah, because she's a cleric of Tempus, the Lord of Battles. So let's accept her. I'm glad to be part of your war party. I will not make you regret your decision. A word of caution, though. Beware of the dog that entrapped me in stone. Tranzig, he called himself. He was in the employ of a mercenary group, but I do not know the name. I shall see him dead before I see the shores of home again. So yeah, she was petrified by someone called Tranzig. And I'm actually going to remove her right here as well, so she stays together with Imoen. When we come back here to the Carnival, we're actually going to pick up both of them, but now I have some other plans. Just to show the character, cleric level 2. Her kind of a downside is that 13 strength. She sometimes can't equip some heavier stuff like a large shield +1, which requires 14 strength. You would have to buff her up with some strength equipment. So she starts out with nothing. She has only 1 hit point after, you know, what she's been through. And of course she has 16 wisdom, so she's a good cleric. We're going to have her for a little while. But oh no, I forgot. There's kind of a cool thing I wanted to showcase. All right, let's quickly reform party. Tell her to stay here.
What is your command?
Yeah, we have fought well and we have fought bravely. Yeah, the whole 5 seconds that you've been in our party. All right. I owe you much. Yes.
Certainly.
Let's. Oh, and now he says the statue has come to life and runs, and finally he stops his shouting. So let's recruit Imoen actually for a second here, because I think we should have a dream once we rest, and I think there's a cool banter also with her and Kevin.
You're a queer fellow.
You old rumjake fool! I knew you'd be back. Yeah, let's get going.
I am here.
Yeah, so we're actually going to keep her for like a few more seconds, and I think I'm going to rest here.
It is done.
There are a couple of different merchants in the Nashkel Carnival,
All my stuff is authentic. Really.
and they usually have some mundane stuff. Those are like the bag of turnips and stuff. This is for the NPC project content that we might engage in a little bit later. The thing about them is that their identification costs are much lower. Like this guy is the best one because he only requires 50 gold. Some of the others require 70 instead of 100 that you would normally require.
Yes?
And there's also a magic goods vendor that we're going to visit in a second.
Nature's servant awaits.
Yeah, Jaheira, you need to use a weapon that is as sharp as you. The club.
I am here. Certainly.
Right.
Certainly.
I've got the best prizes this side of Cormier.
See what you have to offer. I think we could... Well, maybe there is going to be... I think we can buy... Yeah, this one is 70. I think we can buy some throwing daggers off of the one in this... I think in this tent.
It is done.
I've got the best prizes this side
Right.
of Cormier.
This one has the magical goods that I'm interested in. And normally I plan to kind of wait for 20 reputation, but it's really not necessary because these prices are good enough. We are at 18 reputation and 20 charisma, so we're at almost the maximum discounts. And these wares are not so expensive that the discounts wouldn't make that big of a difference. So I want this, the necklace of missiles. This one is great because it basically has a fireball, essentially, like a level 6 fireball that you can use. And anyone can use that. Anyone can equip that amulet and use the charges on it. And what's even better about it is that I think the missile blast here actually is counted as a level 0 spell, which means that it goes through stuff like a minor globe of invulnerability, which is going to be something that we're going to start encountering later with mages. Then we're going to get this shield amulet, which is perfect for Senashira to buff her up temporarily. Buff up her armor class by 6 actually, and another bonus versus missiles, and also makes her immune to magic missile. And it's 1 hour, so it's 5 minutes in game, and it's another charge item, and then we can recharge it. I am going to recharge this one, I think, because it's going to be like our bread and butter buff for Senashira. So finally she can kind of go into melee without fear as much, especially when she gets like 1 more level, some more hit points. She's still, as you must, or as I may remind you of, she still can't, you know, as a Kensai, equip a helmet. So being in melee, being vulnerable to critical hits, is always a danger. And we might get this scroll as well. It will come in handy. Alright, so we can have this scroll, you can equip that again. You can hold on to this. We are going to equip this, and this one, maybe Jaheira or... Yeah, Jaheira
Your concern
can equip that now. So those were some very, very important purchases when it comes to our party. Alright, and this one is the like ranged weapons vendor.
Yes, indeed.
I've got the best prizes this side of Cormier.
And he, indeed has throwing daggers. That's good. So I'm going to need a lot of them. Let's buy all of them, I guess. And leave 1 stack for Senashira, although I think she's not going to engage in ranged combat like too much from now on. I think especially when she gets level 3. One other thing is that the NPC project has this component of, you know, like I mentioned in the Crossroads, you could see Eldoth, and a recruitable NPC that was moved in an earlier area that's accessible earlier. And so here is Quail. Normally we would only have access to him once the bridge to Baldur's Gate is opened, so much later in the game. And it makes sense that he's at this carnival, because in Baldur's Gate 2 he's involved with a circus, and he's a pretty cool character, and I just want you to see some of the lines here that he can say.
Walking alone in the Coastway Road. How smart is this?
So he asks for directions. No matter what we say here, you know, we're going to be going west, for example. Westward till dawn. It is the same for me. Surely this lends us a familial bond of sorts. The smart move would be to travel as one, especially with the number of bandits in the area. You probably need the counterbalance of my intelligence as well. He has an ego as well, but he has the 19 intelligence to support it. No, and don't call me Shirley. This is actually a reference to something that I don't remember. This is some line from a show or some such. Well, I suppose I'll be on my way then, you idiot. You said yes! I mean, of course I'll come with you. My intellect and skill as a cleric will undoubtedly make your group much better than it is. Onward. Actually, I want to do a quick load. Now let's just do a quick load, because I wanted to showcase another line of his.
Walking alone in the Coastway Road. How smart is this?
If you say south... He should... I want to
It is done.
have his... Maybe it's randomly generated?
Road. How smart is this?
He has a... How? I get it. It's the charisma. You're a complete and utter moron, aren't you? So let's have someone with low charisma.
I will lead for as long as I am needed. Yes, as you wish.
So let's talk with him.
Walking alone in the Coastway Road. How smart is this?
Oh, yeah. And now he has a different line, the one I wanted. Ah, my loutish friends. This is my direction too. Fate has crossed our paths, and we could all benefit by traveling together. It will be the classic pairing of you, the stalwart adventurers, and I, the intelligent one. How could you refuse? And this one I like. How could I refuse? Watch me. Taketh thou a hike. That's a classic line. Yeah, so let's just recruit him and then immediately remove him so he just stays here. Please don't leave me out here. Do you hear buzzards? I hear buzzards. Alright.
This is where I am indeed.
So that's the only thing I wanted to showcase here with him. And then there's one last thing. Oh yeah, we looted the gold from there. There's a tent here where people
Indeed.
are smoking some Black Lotus. Let's talk with this guy.
Friend?
The Black Lotus. It expands your mind. You should try sometime. And then Jahira steps in from the BG1 NPC Project. No, she is not interested and never will be. Not while I am around. Of that you can be sure. Your life is yours to ruin, but do not tempt Senashira to do the same. Like a little anti-drug PSA from Jahira. Jahira.
Yes?
Alright, so that's the only thing I wanted to showcase. Alright, now that we've... do I want 4 blinds? There are going to be some cases where that might be useful, and she doesn't really have anything else that I could use her for, really. And we're going to be traveling between areas, so I'm not even sure about this armor. Normally this is a good spell to have, but you know, this lasts for 8 hours, so it's for one area essentially when it comes to travel time, and I don't really care if she dies or not. Well, that much, so let's just have a couple of blinds. Alright, now let's rest. And this is a pretty decent conversation about Imoen looking at Kivin, apparently, as he prepares to sleep. And she's interested in his pendant. That's a ranger's insignia. As it is customary for a ranger to choose an animal to identify himself as he walks the land. This is pretty cool, you know. I would carve or paint it as my mark to let others know my trail. This will help others to discover my fate if I become lost, or will tell a wary traveler who had done him the kindness of equipping a road cabin with food and firewood. So he has a falcon. It is not an unusual choice for a foolish youngster who dreams of valor and great feats. So Imoen, of course, wants to have a symbol as well.
You do not dream often, but tonight the visions are vivid indeed. Long have you walked, but now you find yourself back amidst the stones of Candlekeep. Your former home looms before you, but the gate is closed and barred. Over the walls there is a candle in your old room, but as the light goes out, the brick surrounding the window closes together. The very walls conspire to keep you at bay. A familiar voice startles you. Though it is calm and caring, you cannot go back this way, child. You must go on. Gorion forms before you. Though his image should be comforting, it seems but a shade of his living self. He is dead in your dreams, as in life. The phantom of your foster father gestures toward the blackness of the wood, as though it should be inviting. Perhaps it is, in a way, but the traveling will be hard. As you think this, a smooth and obvious path becomes clear out of the corner of your eye. It seems meant for you, pulls at your very being, and promises to quickly lead you away from the life you once led. Perhaps this would be for the best, but it is a bit too convenient for your liking. You do not wish to dwell upon the loss you have endured, but neither should it be forgotten. Gorion smiles and fades away. The pull becomes a push, but you turn away, steadfast in your new direction. The way is not quite as clear, but it is sure to be interesting nonetheless. A whisper follows as you stride away, something vestigial and sinister that you recognize, but yet have never heard. You will learn. You don't look back.
So these are awesome. Those are the dream sequences. So now to talk about a little about the dreams. They are different for good characters and evil characters, but it doesn't depend on your alignment, but on your reputation. If you are 10 or higher, you will get the good version, and when you are below 10, you're going to get the evil version. And as you can see, it also resulted in us gaining a special ability, a Cure Light Wounds. This is the good option, and if you were evil, we would get Larlock's Minor Drain. So you can kind of min-max these as you want, because you're going to get one such dream per chapter, and that's why it happened now, because we unlocked chapter 2 when we entered Nashkel and got that chapter 2 introduction. So now that we rested, we have had this dream, and I wanted to keep Imoen just for a while longer here, because she's going to have a cool conversation courtesy of the BG1 NPC Project again. About time you woke up. You okay, Senashira? You look kind of pale, like you've seen a ghost. You've had some bad dreams or something? Wouldn't surprise me. So dream isn't the word. Nightmare is more like it. Or, no matter what you say. Sure sounded like it, alright. You were tossing and turning, mumbling in your sleep too, loudly. Kept me up half the night, you did. Anything you want to talk about? Oh, might as well. And you relate your dream? Sounds kind of creepy. Still, I'm glad Gorion seemed happy in your dream. I don't know why, but I'm also glad you took the other path. Anyway, no harm done, I guess. It was just a dream, right? Not just a dream. I'm different somehow. I can heal people. All I have to do is touch them. Well, I guess that's useful at least. It sounds very strange, though, to wake up after some dream and just know you can do something magical. You just take it easy for a bit, okay? I'll get things packed. So these dreams, they are awesome in my opinion. When you really think about them, especially when you know the story, and on your second playthrough, for example, when you know what they are referring to and you can kind of think a little deeper about them, those are just great. Like a great addition to, you know, to allow yourself to like get immersed more, and just pointing out at the kind of uniqueness of your character. Alright, now let's just teleport close to Branwen so we can leave Imoen here, and then we're going to go and set my plan in motion when it comes to the areas we're going to go to and explore and do quests in and such. Alright, so I'm sorry again, Imoen.
You're a queer fellow.
Yeah, just stay here for a little while. And we're going to be back soon. Now let's go to Nashkel.
It is done.
I'm going to recruit Minsc. And then we're going to have Minsc for a while. Of course, he's one of the most iconic, classic characters from Baldur's Gate.
Stand and deliver, that my hamster might have a better look at you.
I agree, Boo. They look to be friendly. Greetings, we are Minsc and Boo. We have traveled far to explore this land, but now my charge, Dinaher, has been taken from us. It was Gnoll's, and once we have tracked them, I will beat sense into their heads until they release her. Accompany us, and bards will sing the deeds of Minsc and Boo, and friends. Yeah, Kivin saying about something about honor. A damsel in distress. Take heart, fellow adventurers, for you have curried the favor of Boo, the only miniature giant space hamster in the realms. My friend and companion, ever since my head wound, he will lead us to victory. Onward to the Gnoll Stronghold in the west. Tarry not, we must go soon. So this is Minsc's timed quest, is to go to the Gnoll Stronghold to the southwest and rescue Dinaher, and that also gives me the opportunity to talk about Kivin's timed quest, because I think I forgot to mention it altogether. Kivin wants us to, of course, track the bandits and like pursue them, so that he can take his revenge. And basically, depending on like when you get Kivin, there's going to be a different time span for you to like discover the bandit camp and basically just progress the main story to that point. If you recruit him in Chapter 1, as we did, we have 21 days, so plenty of time. If in Chapter 2 you first recruit him, you're going to have 14 days, and if in Chapter 3, you're going to have 7 days. Anyway, so here's Minsc, and this is the component that I told you about with the TOB-style NPCs. He has the experience to start out at level 2, because he can start out at level 1. Some of the NPCs, actually, Kivin, you know, he started out with level 2 without that option to level him up ourselves, because that's his lowest level version. I forgot about that. But Minsc's lowest level version is level 1, and then he has a level 2 version, which we have the experience for, and now we can level him up ourselves. It doesn't change anything when it comes to him, but it really matters when it comes to thieves, for example, how you can pick which thieving skills they're going to get. You yourself can specify how they're going to level up. So Minsc is a strong ranger / berserker. I guess he will reveal that, and I think from his biography note we also get that information, that he's from Rashomon and he was tasked to protect Dinaher, a witch, and he tries to prove himself by undertaking his Dajema, to be worthy to enter like the Ice Dragon Lodge of Berserkers. I think that's the whole thing. Anyway, he's a little bit worse than his Baldur's Gate 2 incarnation when he has 16 dexterity and 16 constitution. As you can see, his mental stats are pretty low. He has his hamster Boo, who is his ranger companion, I guess. That's why he's kind of a ranger and not a berserker. Although berserker would fit him very, very well. And of course, the most notable thing about him is his very, very high strength. He's in that last bracket before a perfect 100 when it comes to exceptional strength. And he's your usual like two-handed sword guy, but Minsc is actually quite versatile, because he has longbow here, and especially his versatility is like his main quality in Baldur's Gate 2. But anyway, we're going to use him in the front lines, I think. And SCS you can install a component that I mentioned in the introductory video that I did install. You can place Boo inside his inventory instead of occupying one of his quick slots, because that's a little annoying. So yeah, that's his companion. And of course the BG2 Tweaks fixes the sound. He actually makes kind of like an animal hamster sound. And of course Minsc's glare, I guess, harsh glare stops us from messing with Boo. Alright. And wow, time flies when we play Baldur's Gate, huh? So I'm going to end here, and this has been episode 9 already, I think, and we're going to set out to explore some of the nearby areas and finally engage in some adventuring again in the next episode. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.